What's going on, everyone? Art of Patience Metal Fab, and I'm out on a little adventure today. I'm actually heading to go check out the S13. We got the call that the blasters were all done with it, so it's all cleaned up, and now it's being transferred over to the coaters to get the protective coating put on it so it doesn't start flash rusting, essentially. So I figured I'd drive down, catch a little bit of footage of that, and then once that coating's all dry, we're gonna get the S13 back. Probably start putting the subframes underneath, getting those panels that I painted a couple episodes ago in, and really starting to build up the car. So I'm excited to check this thing out, and hope you guys are gonna follow along on this one. It sounds like the S13 is back from Epoxy. I was there yesterday just doing a little bit of filming. I'm sure you guys saw the footage, and I had to leave before he was completely done. It was dry today, and Brian and his dad went and picked it up. So I'd like to find out what his impressions are, because it looked really nice after the blasting and then at least the initial coat of that epoxy. So let's see how it came out. The shell's back at the shop. Brian, how do you feel about having it back here?
Other than almost cut my thumb off, I feel pretty good. It's nice to see it in one color. We can get the duct tape off here and kind of take a few steps forward from the few steps backward we had to take to get to this point. So it is a little motivating to see it all in one color, and it looks like a race car.
So we get the thumbs up from you? Brian's in a decently good mood considering he lobbed about half of his thumb off. The rotisserie came down a little bit quicker than he was anticipating, so he had everything wrapped up so he wouldn't bleed out on the car. You can see there's a couple blood stains in the trailer, and I think he's gonna go and get some stitches or at least get it cauterized somewhere. So this is the second video. We've had a little bit of a disaster. The first or the last video, it was that light coming down because we didn't anticipate it. Now we have an injury, so hopefully this is the last of it and we're not calling this a cursed car quite yet. Since Brian's gonna be out of commission for a little bit, I thought I'd help him out and start peeling back some of this duct tape that he put on here. Really the purpose behind this was to protect the paint that was on the areas we didn't want blasted. So the roof, the rear quarters mainly, it's a lot of duct tape, and the blasting powder also really adhered it on here. So that's gonna be a little bit of a chore, but at least when he comes back with a sewn up thumb, he'll be happy that the car is ready to get put back together. Most of that tape residue is cleaned up off the car, and now Brian is back and feeling a little bit better with the cauterized thumb that he has now. Next steps for the car, we're gonna have to be putting the subframes back on, making it into a roller. We can't keep it on that rotisserie because it takes up so much space in the shop. And then I'm gonna be putting the interior panels that I painted in steel it a while ago back in the car. Essentially, we need to do final fitment, and then we can start welding on those. That's probably gonna be a good way to end this episode. Now, in the next one, we've got a lot to do because we're in the reassembly phase. So there's a lot of little fabrication items. We're gonna be making a list and then knocking things off one by one. So let's at least get started on those subframes and interior panels. might look like we're taking 1 step forward and 2 steps back, but that's because we are out of necessity. Me laying all the panels in there allowed us to mark and measure where we're going to be drilling holes for the welds, and now Brian's taking them out so we can get to the center, essentially the one that's underneath all of the other panels, which is the fuel cell panel right there. Brian is going to keep plugging away on prepping those panels. Basically, just take every single one, clean out the area where we're going to be welding, drill holes, and then make sure everything fits together nicely. So it's going to be a long, laborious process. I think this is a good way to wrap up this video. And then in the next one, once everything's prepped, we're going to actually start welding those panels into the car, because those are going to be permanent fixtures in that vehicle. It's going to be really cool to see what it looks like all put together. Then eventually that car is going to get, I believe, partial interior, so it's going to be carpeted over the top, but you guys are going to get to see how it looks before any of that is in. During the next couple of episodes, we're going to be itemizing all the things we still have to do, because now they're really stacking up. The engine is going to have to go back in, the firewall is going to need a lot of attention, and then all those little bits and pieces, pedals and temperature controls, seating, everything's going to have to go back into that car. So we have a long list of things to do, and we just have to prioritize them, start knocking them out one by one till that car's rolling out of here. So if you guys enjoyed this episode, please consider subscribing to this page. There's plenty of more content to come, not only on that car, but all of the other projects we have around the shop. Hope you enjoy this one, and we'll see you in the next video.